Canelo Alvarez, I'm starting to believe, would be the underdog going into this fight with Terence Crawford. Something's telling me that he will be the underdog going into this fight. It's your boy, Mr. 926, a.k.a. Bushido the Dragon, a.k.a. the Black Mage, a.k.a. just do this all day, the two-time demonetized champion of the world.
I need y'all to get the likes up, man. Get the likes up.
Check it out, man. We had the Canelo versus Crawford debate, episode 2. We had the debate. It wasn't much of a debate. It was more of a discussion. And I don't believe at this particular moment that people that actually believe that Canelo Alvarez is going to beat Crawford, people that actually believe that, I don't think that they feel that they have a strong argument going into this matchup as of right now.
I just want to tell you like this. Yeah. If Canelo couldn't knock out Charlo, or you really think that he's going to knock out Crawford? Charlo was on his bike. Charlo was trying not to get hit. Canelo landed some shots. He dropped them, but he still didn't stop him. He didn't stop him. So with that being said, if Crawford can get off, not get hit with the big shots, avoid those big shots, get off again, avoid those big shots, because you see the punches coming. Canelo is so predictable, dude. You know a hook is coming. You know when the right hand is coming. You know he's going down to the body. He gives it away. There's a tail with him. There really is. And it's usually off the high guard. He comes in, he marches forward. Then, boom, Crawford's going to be able to see all of that. Mm-hmm. He's too knowledgeable inside the ring. His IQ is too high. If he can avoid the shots, avoid the big bum, and not get knocked out, he can outbox Canelo. It doesn't matter. He don't have to knock him out. He can outbox him, outpoint him. So, yeah, I would pick Terence Crawford to beat a Canelo Alvarez, even at 168. Everybody can call me crazy and whatever you want to say. I get it. Y'all didn't believe me when I told you about Spence, but trust me, Crawford will figure out a way. I know a secret y'all don't know, and I ain't going to tell you why I would pick Terence Crawford, but it's part of the secret is the reason why I'm picking him to win the fight. So,
is it like a skill set? Is it like a preparation thing, or?
Nope, and not. Nope, I'm not. Just gonna put it like this: if the fight was to happen, you will see.
If you look at the sports books, and we talked about it last night, Crawford's only a plus 100 underdog, when Canelo's the minus 200 favorite. Huge difference from what it likely was prior to him fighting William Skull than it is right now. A lot of the trainers going into this fight, a lot of his fellow peers feel that he definitely has a chance to win.
I'm going with Terence Crawford, big weight jump, a dangerous fight, but somebody's got to prove to me that they can break Terence Crawford's will and that he can't figure it out against you. It ain't no disrespect toward Canelo, but I've said this the last couple of years. I'm not betting against Terence Crawford against nobody right now. You got to show me that you can beat him.
That version of Canelo probably does lose to Crawford. He looked different. His movement was different. His body was different. His attitude was different. Everything was different. I don't think Canelo's going to show up like that. He had what he had in front of him, and he knew what it was and what he wasn't. And he understands that Crawford is not the same thing as William Skull. And you're only as good as your last fight. And that's the last fight we're going to see Canelo before he steps into the ring with Crawford.
He might stop you, man. I ain't gonna hold you, man.
Canelo Alvarez got one of the best chins.
Yeah, but listen, he ain't been hit by Terence though. Terence can punch, man. You know what I mean? I know he's been in with some of the great punches and all that, but them punches got to be placed right. You know what I mean? And Terence placed them punches, man. Them body shots, man. I don't see too many people go to Canelo body. Have you seen that?
Not really.
Not too many people.
Even Triple G, who's a good body puncher.
Yeah, but
everything was up top.
Everybody, and he got a hard head, man. So I will go to the body, go to the head, and go back down to the body. And then once you keep on going to that body, he's gonna drop his hands. Once he drop his hands, good night.
Think he beats Crawford?
No. If Crawford come out with the game plan that I'm thinking that he will, and he's just as big. I mean, size is size. I mean, I feel like Crawford got a chance. Everyone counting him out, but he has a chance against Canelo.
Yeah.
But if Canelo win the fight, I'll be right there to fight him.
You know, it's a hard one to call, and I'm going to tell you why it's a hard one to call. It's a hard one to call because it'll all be predicated upon how Canelo approaches the fight. If Canelo approaches the fight like he's the man and he can box and outbox Terence Crawford, he'll get beat. If he comes out and shows that he really wants to go out and prove whether he's still the best, he might win. So it all depends on which Canelo come to the dance.
Look, I think this fight now with Crawford's gonna make it a better fight. I think it's a very close fight. Now I switch. I always thought Canelo was gonna be too big, too strong, but now I'm gonna pick Crawford to win this fight. Crawford is very talented, great footwork, great combinations, and a very strong fighter. Facing him off, he's actually the taller man. So I'm leaning towards Crawford now. I switch my opinion. I think Canelo looked too slow, too flat-footed. One punch at a time. I don't think that's gonna be enough for him to beat Crawford. Crawford's too fast, too strong, just too good.
But Bud the best fighter in boxing too. Make sure y'all let that be known. Canelo? Bud the best fighter in boxing. If Canelo is at his weight, I'm telling y'all now, Bud will beat Canelo.
What is the biggest? Terence Crawford right now in the sport of boxing is the pound-for-pound best fighter in the sport of boxing right now.
How good is Crawford?
Crawford is amazing, not just good. He's amazing, and
he said the same thing about you.
Thank you, Terence. But I think he should be in the book for
Is that good?
how to learn boxing.
Really?
For me, pound for pound, number one is Terence Crawford. I like this man. It's a great fighter.
I think it's Crawford first.
Alvarez, I don't think that the pushback is going to be the same as far as the fans going back and forth for weeks on end. I don't think it's going to be the same as it was with Errol Spence Jr. Errol Spence Jr. fans truly believed in Errol Spence and that he could beat Terence Crawford. Whole premise of their channels was Spence beating Crawford. And then once Spence lost against Crawford, well, then a lot of these guys disappeared. Well, because they wasn't true boxing fans. And then a lot of the guys that's still here today, they try not to talk about Terence Crawford at all because there's nothing else left for them to say. But Canelo Alvarez, man, I think as this fight gets closer, he's going to be the underdog going into this thing. Now, he may not officially be underdog when it comes to the books. But when it comes to this actual fight, if you understand boxing, if you understand where both fighters are at in their careers, you will have to think that Canelo Alvarez be the underdog. How many different ways could he win this fight? Outside of catching Crawford with a punch. Outside of getting a favorable decision when it comes to the politics. Now some Canelo fans are even worried that the politics of boxing may not be in his favor. Because Turki Al-Sheikh is putting the money up for this fight. This fight will be a battle of who's the better man. I honestly starting to believe that Terence Crawford will get a fair shake if this fight goes to the decision. So now there's no added pressure. Now when Crawford enters the ring, he may not be down 2 or 3 rounds. Simply because it's Canelo Alvarez. Do Canelo Alvarez have the speed advantage? Do he truly have the size advantage? Will that size advantage that he quote-unquote do have, will it be a disadvantage because he's the shorter, wider guy? It's not like he's the shorter, smaller, faster guy like a Gervonta Tank Davis, who his size could sometimes be an advantage for him in fights. Canelo's not necessarily the smaller, speedier guy. I think this dude will be the underdog, man. I think Canelo Alvarez will be the underdog going into this fight. And if he's not officially the underdog, he's definitely the underdog in my eyes. Because I still haven't seen a way. I still can't figure out a way for Canelo Alvarez to beat this dude. And I think for Terence Crawford, he thrives more when people don't think he got a chance. But unfortunately for him now, a lot of people, including his peers, believes that he has the chance. But I think once the fight does happen, I think it will be a lot easier for Crawford than people think. I think this style that Canelo has isn't a style to where nobody has figured it out. It's not a situation to where, well, we can't figure this guy out. Guys actually figured Canelo Alvarez out quite a few times. I think this is a tougher fight for Canelo at this point than it is for Terence Crawford. I think if Terence Crawford comes out and do what he needs to do, I think it should be a relatively smooth sail for Terence Bud Crawford. But tell me what you guys think. Is Canelo Alvarez starting to look like somewhat of an underdog to you in this fight? Like, subscribe, holla at your boy. Peace out.